Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Before you click away and say, what's this guy about to talk about now? Please just hold on, I have something to share. And this is something that has been happening all over the world. I mean, the gender divide, this so-called gender divide or gender gap, where males and females are in a war against one another. It has become a problem where one group is rising up and another group is declining, and it should be an equal thing. However, the male figures or the male group is slowly declining because we are made redundant on certain fields. We are not having those manufacturing jobs where they just need our muscles. Instead, they need our minds mostly, and so unfortunately some men can't cope with that. However, there's been a lot of changes throughout society. I was born in 97, so I can't say what really happened in the 1980s or 1970s, but you know how a lot of things happened in terms of women's rights. And to tell you the truth, it's been impactful for society. However, I feel as if there's a lot of liberalism that has been given to them, freedom. Yeah. A lot of freedom has been given to them, and some do not know how to use it responsibly, and some do, which is great, because we do need men and women to be working together in order to contribute to society and make it a better place. However, the main problem is that men are made to feel redundant. And today I was at church at a friend's place, and he invited us, just to play FIFA, and I was like, I don't want to go. Why am I going? I wanted to edit some photos, but I realized that I could edit the photos there, and I decided to go just like an hour later when we actually started. Then I found some guys playing FIFA. But the most important thing I realized is that it wasn't just us playing FIFA. It was actually like a support structure. We were conversating on certain things. We were teaching each other about the Bible. We were saying all different kind of things, and to some degree, it got me thinking that truly as gents, we need friends. We need male friends, need male figures, people who can be able to talk to, people who can be willing to understand the situation we're in, not just groove and drinking. Yeah, sometimes you can talk about your problems during groove and all that, but are you really solving the problem, or it's just the intoxication that's you're feeling at the time that you now can vent to somebody? But is the problem really going to be solved? Is there some sort of tangible solution or solution to it? And I figure that men need to sit down and talk to one another, and it's not often that we can sit down and just relax and conversate like women do. Women find it more easily because, well, they're emotional creatures or emotional people. However, men have egos and pride and all these things that prevent them from breaking down barriers. And being there today actually made me realize that we really need to sit down as men and maybe do something that's engaging, like PlayStation, and talk, or sometimes really talk, not doing anything, but just talk and express ourselves, because we are going through a lot. I have stories, they have stories, and we can all find some common solution as to how we can go through that thing. I remember as I was talking, I started sharing, and there was a lot of things that I let them know about and what I'm struggling with, And one of the guys, he says, what are you struggling with? And I told him that I'm struggling with this, right? And he was like, do you want to stop it or what? I was like, I don't want to stop it because I don't find a reason why to stop it, but it's giving me some sort of trouble, because they say the past is really a good indicator of who you'll be in the future, but obviously there's a room of change within the present moment. You can always change what you were. You can't change what you were, but you can do something to become a better person in the future, So he asked me, and I told him, okay, this is my problem. And then he told me this prayer. He was like, you know what, dude, don't give God a budget. well, he was telling another friend that don't give God a budget, and I took it as like he was also telling me, never give God a budget, because if you want to pray for something, just tell him. You don't have to find ways to be fancy, just tell him the honest truth. For example, if you tell him that you like something, tell him, just say, God, I really like this thing, but now I'm gonna give it to you. I do not know what to do because I really enjoy this thing, but to some degree my spirit is telling me I have to stop whatever I'm doing. And he was like, yeah, just put it that way and trust in the Lord that he'll give you some sort of plan and watch him work, because you don't need faith as big as a mountain. You need faith as little as a mustard seed. That's what's important. And sooner or later God will give you a revelation, you know. However, us as men, truly, again, we need male support structures, because this can help us to not think of things that we'll otherwise regret or might not live to see. So we need to be mentally sober, we need to be spiritually sober and physically sober in all aspects. Yeah, all aspects. But what I can say is that brotherhood and support is one of the most crucial things. As the decline of society, especially the male figure or the male role model, it has become a thing where it feels like an attack. And it's not really an attack, it's just that we're not adapting fast enough to what is happening in our world. Women are advancing, and a lot of male figures or men feel like it's an attack. It's not an attack, it's just that we are not adapting to what is happening in our society fast enough. We're not able to grasp it fast enough, and we need to be able to grasp it fast enough. That's where brotherhood comes in and support, because we can be able to educate one another as to what we can really do to survive or to adapt. Because look at it, women are going to school, men are not. Women are working as much, they can take up any job, not any job, but as long as the incentive is good enough, they can take that job. We as men are going to have some sort of pride and ego. It's like, this job is not for me, I'm not going to take it. For like example, a receptionist. A woman can take a job of a receptionist, but what about us as men? We feel as if, nah, I'm not going to put myself in such a situation. So we need to find ways to adapt faster. Because yeah, a lot of the pressure is on us. We are supposed to be the leaders of whoever we decide to marry. We're supposed to be the leaders of our society and our community. So it becomes a huge burden of responsibility that we have on our shoulders, and we don't know, or we don't have the strategies that will allow us to adapt fast enough. So brotherhood and support structure, it's really good. And you know, just having positive role models, people who you can look up to. Our world is full of drugs. Drugs are an escape thing. It's really embarrassing, or it's really sad, not embarrassing, it's really sad of how our society is being taken over by these drug cartels and all that. But what I'm saying is that we have a very huge problem, because we don't have much positive male figures. There's not much positivity throughout the manosphere or the male space, and that can lead to a problem, because we need to know how to sharpen one another. And as you know, the book of Proverbs 27 verse 17 says iron sharpens iron, you know. So we really need that. And I'm serious, because I read a stat. It says that the average person will spend about 8 years in hours doing pleasures or escapism things. So 8 years is really a long time for the average person. 8 years in hours doing escapism things. And you know how drugs are easily addictive. They hit some sort of dopamine in your mind, and you feel as if I can have them always. So guys, the support structure, the positive masculinity, guys need a lot of role models. I see guys like Andrew Tate online, fine, but you can see now they're just taking some sort of advantage on young men because they're vulnerable and they're looking for someone they can look up to. And unfortunately, that guy knows how to monetize men. So that is a problem. And identity and confidence. We're lost again because society or the world has advanced so much that we feel as if we are lost. Once again, we're not adapting fast enough. So there are many ways of which we can really advance in society, and we first need to identify who we are, who God made us to be, and we need that confidence, and we need to basically have faith. We need to understand ourselves, who we are, what we want to do, and that will give us an identity and the confidence to do or be the man who we should be in our society. And most importantly, guidance and wisdom. Amajita, like honestly, when Solomon prayed to God because he got the benefit of being David's son, he prayed for wisdom, and he actually made a very good choice by praying for wisdom, because you get to see the world as it is. You get to see the difference between good and evil, and you know how to go around all those things. You know how to solve conflicts, you know how to control yourself, you have temperament and all that, because praying for wisdom alone can unlock all these other things like discipline, emotional resilience, intelligence, and general intelligence. And wisdom is a keystone prayer that all men need to pray about, because some of us are looking for partners in life, some of us are looking for business opportunities, some of us are looking for jobs, some of us are looking for purpose, and the only way to have that is to truly have wisdom and guidance. If you can have wisdom and guidance truly, I can say you'll go really far. You'll think of many things that are important instead of the things that are setting you back. So guys, whatever you're doing, you need to find confidence and wisdom, or guidance and wisdom. That is very important. So I think if we can make that like a prayer point and be able to pray for wisdom and guidance, and truly God will not deny us of that opportunity. He will give us whatever we need and whatever we requested for. So all these things, from brotherhood and support, positive masculinity, guidance and wisdom, identity and confidence, we all need that to break some sort of isolation. Because what does a king... Okay, let me put it this way. What does a king... Basically, the enemy finds it a good time to kill a man when he's isolated, not when he's with a group. He either finds time when you're young and he infiltrates your mind with corn, masturbation, all these drugs and alcohol and all that stuff. When you're young, you're much more susceptible as a man, as a boy child, to all these things. And that's how the enemy can take over. The second thing is that he finds you in an isolated spot. So the best thing is to break that isolation and find yourself a group of men, other like-minded men who are willing to walk the journey with you, because you can't do it alone. Unfortunately, you can't. So it's very important that you really have to just find yourself surrounded with positive men, guys who can be able to influence you in a way that is positive and uplifting, so that you can become a better man than you were yesterday. As again, things are tough. We're not wrestling against flesh and blood, but principalities. So we really have to be careful, and we really have to pray and work and develop ourselves to become the people or the men that we want to be in society. We have to be positive regardless. So it was quite an interesting day. We did a lot. We talked. We showed each other different ways of how to approach things and how to do things. So it was quite impactful. Try not to disappear, because been disappearing on YouTube and this thing of posting, it's just a little bit of fear. But I just wanted to share this as I feel it's very important for me to do so. Perhaps it might reach one person, which is fine. Even if it reached one person, as long as they got to hear a message that is fulfilling, that can help them, yeah, that's fair enough. So thank you so much, guys. Everybody, boy, girl, male, female, young, old, thank you so much for tuning in to this video, and I hope to see you in the next one. Take care, and please do subscribe to my channel. I would really appreciate it. After coming in, not releasing videos, you know, I'm trying to do something just to keep me productive. So thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next one.